Hey everybody, welcome back. Episode 16, end of the season. Yes, I'm writing that backwards. End of season. Season's been over for a little bit. It's what, April, whatever, 10th today, something like that. Not paying attention. Busy time at work and whatnot, so I haven't really cleaned up too much. So I'm going to do this last video for the winter season, and again we'll see if we can do something for dirt biking. Maybe I just bought a new little mini bike, so we'll maybe have some video on that. But anyway, so end of season storage. We're going to go through this again. I did it last year. You can look it up, but I'm going to do that real quick here. Got some skis and snowboard and whatnot. A lot of equipment here. I've already washed all my gear. I tell everybody, wash your gear. Again, a Phillips number 3. Wash your gear. I washed it all, folded it up, put it back in my bag, made sure my boots were put together properly, like the tongue and everything is put together properly, so they won't when you open them up in the spring, they won't be all, fall, they won't be all bent out of shape and whatnot. Wash all your socks, wash all your mitts and hats and toques if you can. I just like all my fleece pants I wear underneath, whatever I can wash, I just wash it all. And you can throw a dryer sheet in there. That's a good tip too, but I never do that. But anyway, let's pull this apart. We'll do the same thing as last year. It's got the razor pad in here. This is nice and tight. I must have glued it in. Huh. So loosen that guy off. Should pop forward. Right? Just pop it forward, nice and easy like that. Loosen your bolts again like last year. I don't take them out. I just loosen them. Literally, that's like 3/4 of a turn. I'm just looking at it now like a clock. 3/4 of a turn. It just lets everything relax. The binding won't turn. It actually just cracked off the top sheet. Maybe one revolution. One whole revolution. It just relieves the bolts from pulling up on the T-nut that's in the board and pulling your base up. Just lets that relax. So we'll do that first. Real quick. I'm going to try to do everything quick here for you. I've been working all day at twice the speed, so I'll just keep going. That one the same way. Wiggle that forward. One revolution. That's one for that one. 2, 3, 4. Oh, you heard a crack. That's cool. Whatever. It's probably just the adhesive on the bottom of the binding. I got these loose. Like, they're loose. That's good. Alright, I'm going to put this guy back in. That's all I'm doing with those bindings. Again, it just relieves the dimples, from pulling up. Alright, put those down. I don't normally put them together, but anyway. This was waxed not too long ago, so I'm just going to leave it. The base, that is. Give it a wipe off, just because I got some dirt, because I think it was a dirty day last day I was out. So that's not so bad. And I just got some 3-in-1 oil. I think I had a spray oil last year. This year I just got a 3-in-1. And I like to use cotton. Nylon, it just goes, poly, whatever just goes right through. The oil just goes right through it. It doesn't stay. The cotton will absorb it. So I'm just going to put that oil, 3-in-1 oil, and I just go right around the edge. You can probably see it going on. Yeah, you can in the picture there. And I don't care how much I put on, because it's saving the edge from rusting. I store it in a dry place in my basement. I would never, again, like tips of last year, never put it in your garage where it's humid and hot, or anywhere that's got accessibility to the outside, like outside weather. So that's all I'm doing to that one. I'm going to chuck this one aside. That's storage for this board. Give me a second here. Stand it over here. Oops. If you hear that crash and fall, that's fine. Here's my other board. I've already got some stuff stored in here, because those of you who know, I have to empty my mom's barn. So this one here, do the bindings first. These are older bindings, so I don't have doesn't have a riser pad in there. Oh, these are already loose. I don't even think I wrote this board this year. I didn't ride it. They're already loose. So this board I didn't even tighten up and ride. That's a shame. This board was a lot of fun. It's heavy. It's 2010 model, but it's made for me. So I'll just throw some oil on it. That's all I'm going to do to this board, and then this will be stored because this base looks. The base looks good shape. So just throw some oil on it all the way around. Can you see that go on? Yeah, you could. You'll see this one go on with the reflection. Reflection of my light. I love that light. That's a good tip for when you're building a shop. You got to have a light right above where you're working. And I like to have one if I'm doing any base tuning. I like to have one on an angle, like have one where the camera would be shining that way, so when I'm down here I can see. So that one's done too. Let's get rid of that guy. That's Brian's old board, by the way. Unrideable, so I just stuck it up there for the... Come on, camera. Is it going to grab me? There it is. There it is. That's Brian's old board. No good. Waxinger. Snowboard. Okay, what else we got? Oh, yeah, skis. I showed you enough oil. Let's do the skis. Always, always, always turn your din down. I did ski this year. Like 2 days at the beginning of this year. Always turn your din down. Again, a Phillips number 3. Turn it right down to the bottom, because you don't want that spring compressed. There's a spring in here and you're compressing it from the release din setting. So just turn those right down to 0, right to the bottom, and that spring should just sit in there. It won't rattle around, but it should sit in there. Toe piece as well. Yeah, just takes a second. Amazing how many people never do this, and then their bindings are giving them troubles. Like, anybody who knows me, I had a bad injury when I was 17. I was on a binding, and I didn't know anything. I just put my skis and went. Beginning of the season, I did a little jump and landed flat hard, bang. The right ski popped off and slid into the side of the run where all the trees were. Smucked my leg and bent my right leg 90 degrees the wrong way, sideways. Blew a ligament off, and 17, young and dumb and in a lot of pain, and went to the hospital, and they said, "Ah, you're fine." I said, "Oh, well, it doesn't feel fine." I said, "Yeah, you should go see a specialist." So I went and saw a specialist. She said, "Yeah, you're gonna have surgery in a month. I'm booked solid." I'm like, "Oh, really? That's interesting." Orthoscopic surgery, 6 weeks of plaster of Paris. This one's a little loose. I'll tighten it up like that. 6 weeks of plaster of Paris, 90-degree cast, and then 6 weeks of a fiberglass cast that was hinged. So that was fun. I think I broke it in January, so all of February, all of March, into April, and then they took the cast off. Of course, young dumb kid. They say to you, "Oh, you're never gonna ski again, let alone, run or play sports or anything. You're gonna have troubles walking." And I was like, "You're full of crap, doctor. What do you know? I'm tougher than you." Whatnot. Oh, you're gonna be wearing a brace for the rest of your life. I wore the brace. I got it. I had a rehab place, and I wore it to the car and never put it on again because you're 17. But I didn't want to rely on that. I don't know. Opinions vary. I guess if Bill's a physiotherapist, my friend Bill's a physiotherapist, he'll tell you different. And I'm sure he'll tell you, "Yeah, you're an idiot." But 17, you're a young, dumb kid. And I never wore it once. And then I just built it up. Built my leg up. I rode a bike. Did a lot of walking, light jogging. Built it up over the summer. So anyway, that's my skis done. And then skied the next season. No brace, no nothing. I just was like, I'm going to deal with this. And I never worn a brace. But the knee isn't perfect. So that's my skis done. Turned the din down. These were waxed. I only skied on them once or twice, so they're fine for storage. Just want to oil them. Again, that's 3-in-1 oil. I'm gonna throw these against the wall, so if you hear some banging, it's just because I have tools in here. Don't worry about it. Oh, hit the light. Cool. All right. As you can tell, I'm doing this whirlwind. Got some blades. I only got these left. A good friend Eric and Rhonda, good friends of ours, Dirt Bike Boom. They were like, "Oh, we love these blades. Can I borrow them? Or we're going away." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, borrow them." So they took 3 pairs. Because I have 4 pairs. They took 3 of my 4 pairs. And they had a great time. They were at Mount St. Louis, I think, for March break or whatever. And had a hoot with them, which is all they're meant for. They're miles per hour. I'm really oiling these up because he sat around. So, and then he's like, "Oh, I'll return them sometime." And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. You're in the season. I don't care. I'll see them dirt biking because their kids dirt bike. Well, his son Joe Brody dirt bikes. Anyway, he bought a pair. Solomon ones, and I don't have the ones anymore that he bought, the pair that he bought. But he bought some, and his wife bought some. So I'm like, all right, more people with blades. Other than that, that's all the tips I got for you today. Store your stuff, wash your gear. This is just, I'll show you 3-in-1 oil. You have to reverse that. 3-in-1 oil. I don't care what oil it is. I've used spray oil. WD-40 tends to evaporate. It's an alcohol. Grab something else. You can use penetrating fluid of some sort or lithium grease. Doesn't matter. Oh, I got more slide wax too. Got to push these guys. This block, 200 grams, 300 grams, whatever. 200 gram block. This was 19 bucks on eBay. Slide wax. I'm pushing these guys. I don't know them. I don't get free stuff. That's a good product. It's a good price. Free shipping in Canada. I think they're in Vernon. I've talked about those guys. For slidewax.com or eBay. Just go slide. That's their universal gold. I've used, like this was a big bar. I've used that. And I have their blue, which is colder. It's just good stuff. I'll promote those guys. They're doing a good job. Keep the industry going. Keep guys like me doing things on a budget. Keep us going. Other than that, I think that's it. Oil your stuff. Undo your dins. Undo the bindings, the din. Undo the bolt on your bindings holding your board together. Not off, but just loosen them off. Store everything in your basement if you can. Dry, not expose the outside air because humidity is what will rust everything. Other than that, we'll see you soon. Okay, bye.